What's up, Bitcoin Bulletin crew? We're diving headfirst into the craziest crypto news shaping your portfolio right now. First up, a serious wake-up call from Cheyenne, Wyoming, where Detective Sergeant Kevin Malatesta and the Cheyenne Police Department are sounding the alarm on a sophisticated scam operation using Bitcoin ATMs. They've seen over 50 cases this year alone, with victims losing a staggering $650,000. These scammers are exploiting how hard it is to recover crypto, and Malatesta is urging everyone to be vigilant. Next, we're jetting over to South Africa, where Altvest Capital Limited is making a bold move, planning to raise a massive $210 million to establish a Bitcoin Treasury reserve. They're rebranding as Africa Bitcoin Corp and aim to be the first African company to hold Bitcoin as a primary treasury asset, following in the footsteps of giants like MicroStrategy. This could revolutionize how African investors access crypto. Then, buckle up because Bitcoin's hash rate has just exploded past 970 exahashes per second. This isn't just a number. It's a signal of massive miner confidence and a fortified network, making Bitcoin more secure than ever. We're talking about a new era for investors, but what does this surge mean for energy consumption and sustainability? We're breaking it all down. And finally, Bitcoin is absolutely crushing it, tapping $114,000 following that cooler-than-expected producer price index data. Analyst Kevin is breaking down the key levels to watch, especially with the upcoming CPI and FOMC meetings. Can this rally continue? Stick around for all the details and make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on so you never miss a beat. Cheyenne police warn of sophisticated Bitcoin ATM scams. Heads up, crypto community. A new wave of scams is hitting Cheyenne, Wyoming, and the police are urging everyone to be on high alert. Detective Sergeant Kevin Malatesta of the Cheyenne Police Department has revealed that scammers are exploiting Bitcoin ATMs to trick unsuspecting individuals, leading to significant financial losses. Since January, the CPD has investigated over 50 cases related to these Bitcoin ATM scams, with victims collectively losing an alarming $650,000. Malatesta explains that these scammers are well versed in the nature of Bitcoin, particularly how difficult it is to recover cryptocurrency once it's sent. They're leveraging this knowledge by employing age-old scam tactics, like impersonating legitimate entities or authorities, and directing victims to use Bitcoin ATMs for payment. These machines, often found in convenience stores and gas stations, make transactions irreversible, leaving victims with little recourse. People take their money and put it into one of these Bitcoin machines, it's gone. There's very little we can do to recover it, Malatesta stated, highlighting the scammers' awareness of this vulnerability. The Cheyenne Police Department emphasizes that any request for payment in cryptocurrency from an unknown entity is a major red flag. They strongly advise residents to report suspicious activity immediately to the CPD or file a federal complaint with the Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3. Filing such reports, Malatesta noted, helps federal agencies like the FBI and Secret Service build databases and potentially take law enforcement action. Spreading awareness is key, and the CPD urges everyone to share this information with both younger and older generations to prevent future victims. Don't go anywhere, because the crypto world is buzzing with even more monumental shifts. Next, we're heading to South Africa, where a company is making a massive bet on Bitcoin's future. South African firm Altvest aims for $210 million Bitcoin Treasury. Get ready for a bold move from South Africa. Altvest Capital Limited has announced its intention to raise a staggering $210 million to establish a Bitcoin Treasury reserve, signaling a significant embrace of digital assets by African financial markets. The company plans to rebrand as Africa Bitcoin Corp, aiming to become the first publicly listed African entity to designate Bitcoin as its primary treasury reserve asset. This strategic pivot mirrors successful treasury models adopted by global giants like MicroStrategy and Japan's Metaplanet, companies that have seen substantial valuation increases due to their Bitcoin holdings. W. Wheatley, founder and CEO of Altvest, articulated the company's vision, explaining that while many institutional investors like pension funds cannot directly purchase Bitcoin, they can gain regulated exposure through equity shares in Altvest. This innovative approach aims to provide a secure and legal pathway for African financial markets to engage with cryptocurrency. Altvest intends to attract both domestic and international capital, with plans to list its shares on exchanges in Kenya, Botswana, Namibia, and other African nations. This multi-exchange strategy seeks to broaden access to Bitcoin exposure for investors across the continent. The firm's crypto offerings will be regulated by South Africa's Financial Sector Conduct Authority, ensuring compliance and investor protection. Despite Altvest's current market capitalization of roughly $3 million, this ambitious move positions it to appeal to long-term institutional and retail investors seeking regulated crypto alternatives. The company will raise capital by issuing approximately 1 million new shares at an estimated price of 60 cents each to fund its Bitcoin Treasury initiative. This is huge for institutional adoption, but that's not all the network is celebrating. Get ready for mind-blowing network growth as we explore Bitcoin's exploding hash rate. Bitcoin's hash rate skyrockets, igniting a new era for investors. Prepare for a seismic shift in the crypto landscape. Bitcoin's hash rate has just surged past an astonishing 970 exahashes per second, AS, marking a pivotal moment for the cryptocurrency and its investors. This isn't just a technical metric. It's a powerful indicator of the network's health, security, and the growing confidence of miners worldwide. The hash rate represents the total computational power securing the Bitcoin blockchain. A higher hash rate means a more robust and secure network, making it exponentially harder for malicious actors to launch a 51% attack. This surge is attributed to several factors, including advancements in mining hardware, a recovery from market downturns, and the establishment of new mining hubs globally. This robust growth signals a healthy and resilient ecosystem that users can rely on. Historically, an increasing hash rate has often correlated with bullish price movements for Bitcoin, suggesting that miners' investments in capacity often precede significant market upticks. As institutional investors increasingly explore the digital asset class, a strong and secure network like the one indicated by this hash rate explosion further solidifies Bitcoin's position as a leading cryptocurrency. However, this expansion also brings critical challenges, particularly concerning energy consumption and sustainability. The increased demand for power fuels ongoing debates about the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining and the urgent need for more sustainable practices, pushing the industry towards renewable energy sources. This network strength is driving Bitcoin higher, but what does it mean for traders? We're breaking down Bitcoin's latest price action and the key data points you need to watch. Bitcoin hits $114,000 after cooler inflation data. Can the rally sustain? Bitcoin is making waves, briefly surging past $114,000 following the release of cooler-than-expected Producer Price Index, PPI, data. This price action has ignited speculation about the potential for the current rally to continue, especially with other significant economic indicators on the horizon. According to analyst Kevin, in a recent Patreon post, the focus for traders should remain on critical price levels rather than getting lost in complex chart analysis, particularly with the Consumer Price Index, CPI, and the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, meeting looming. Key support for Bitcoin is identified at $110,600, with further levels at $107,500, $106, $800 and $104, $100, $000. Resistance is noted at $112,775, $113, $700, $114, $600, $116,000, and $118,300. The expectation is that Bitcoin will likely trade within the $106,800 to $118,300 range unless the CPI or FOMC brings significant surprises. The PPI data showed a 0.1% month-over-month drop, contrary to an expected 0.3% growth, and a 2.6% year-over-year increase, below the forecasted 3.3%. Dawn Crypto Trades pointed out that Bitcoin cleared liquidity above $114,000 immediately after the PPI release, but also warned that the upcoming CPI data is likely to trigger another spike in volatility. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin liquidations stood at $37.95 million, with short liquidations making up $34.96 million as traders were forced to close their positions amid the sudden price surge. If inflation remains in check or cools further, and the Fed maintains a dovish stance, altcoins could potentially lead a broader market rally. That's all the top stories for today, but the crypto market never sleeps. Stay tuned for our rapid-fire recap and all the ways you can stay connected with Bitcoin Bulletin. All right, Bitcoin Bulletin fam, let's do a super fast recap. We warned you about those Bitcoin ATM scams in Cheyenne, saw Altvest aiming for a massive $210 million Bitcoin Treasury in South Africa, celebrated Bitcoin's record-shattering Hashrate explosion, and watched Bitcoin tap $114,000 on cooler inflation data. Don't miss out on any of this action. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, drop a comment below with your thoughts, and follow us on all our social channels for more. We'll see you in the next one.